So guys, on today's video, we are going to go over how to start a game of D&D. For those of you who don't have friends that want to play with you, / don't have friends that you think don't want to play with you.
I mean, the biggest one I had was to get our D&D group started was the Reddit group RLFG, looking for gamers, I think is the acronym. And yeah, you just post in there and search for your city and all that. And I mean, that's if you want to play in person. You could also play online on Discord and all that, which I haven't experienced personally. But
yeah, I mean, personally, I think if you have a network of friends in your area, like you're fresh out of high school or you're still in high school and stuff, and you still live in the area where you grew up, there's a lot of people you know. Just make a Facebook post or Instagram or whatever. Social media saying you want to start playing D&D, who's in, and I guarantee there's going to be a few people that want to play or are interested.
Yeah, it was weird because like we got into D&D and I started posting pictures of our gameplay and battle maps and stuff on social media, and next thing you know I have like 30 people like, oh, you play? Oh, I've been wanting to get into a game or, start a campaign. I've been looking at DM for a long time. And it's like, I had no idea, and I've known these people for years.
Yeah, we had so many friends from back in Stockton that wanted to, they play D&D now, but, we live up here now, so we can't play with them.
A big factor of people not wanting to start playing is rules. There are a bazillion rules in D&D, Pathfinder, any really RPG you want to play out there, there's a ton of them. There's a lot of rules, but that is a subject of what you want to do. If you're playing a homebrew campaign out of your house, you don't need to follow any of those rules if you don't want to. You make the rules if you're behind the screen.
I mean, there's only one rule that every D&D group should follow: the rule of cool.
The rule of cool.
Every game is different. Every game you really make into your own, and what is acceptable within your group or the campaign that you're playing might not be acceptable in another, and vice versa. And realistically, house rules are realistically all you really need to follow. The book is a great guideline to follow and learn, how gameplay goes. But every game can and should be played differently and made into your own.
Mm-hmm. And assuming none of that works and you don't have any friends near you that want to play with you, you can go. I guarantee there is a game store in your area that has Adventure League. And Adventure League is D&D at the stores or whatever, following guides on books, and there's going to be a large group of people that are all seasoned veterans and are willing to help you learn how to play.
But be warned, if you do Adventure League, they don't do the rule of cool or anything like that, to an extent, of course. Mm-hmm. They're definitely more by the books, by the rules and all that. There's a lot of guidelines that you have to go by. And but I mean, there's no saying that you go to Adventure League and make a few friends and eventually do your own home campaigns or anything like that.
And it all is a great way to learn the game as well. Like if you have no knowledge of gameplay at all, get into one of these Adventure Leagues, or at least show up and watch gameplay so you can pick up on some information, and it's a great way to network and meet some people that can and will teach you how to play the game.
Which brings us into our next thing. What do you need to start playing D&D? The best starter would be a Player's Handbook, 5th edition. This is the main thing that most people that play D&D will have. I think we're all in agreement where we believe that everybody should have one. Everybody in the group, but they can be a little spendy. If you buy them in stores, they're about $40 to $50, but you can get these bad boys on Amazon for $30.
Yeah, and they do have sales, and I mean, there are ways around it. You can go on the Dungeons and Dragons website. What is it? Wizards of the Coast or something like
Yeah.
that. And they'll have like portions of the book.
D&D Beyond is another good website to go to.
What you need to get started. You know, if you don't have the money for it, if you can't get the scratch together. I mean, there's definitely ways around it.
Mm-hmm. The books definitely make it easier, but they are not at all required. All the stuff that are in these books or any of the expansions, you know, the DMG, the Monster Manual, Volo's Guide, Xanthar's Guide to Everything,
Highness Tomathos.
that
I
one.
mean, that was pretty good. You got that in
Yeah.
order. That was kind of weird.
You know, all of those, you can find the sources online, everything in there. It'll be harder to find, of course. You're not going to have a thesaurus or anything. Not a thesaurus, a table of contents.
Yeah.
Not going to have a table of contents or anything like that. So you're just going to have to think of what you need and type it in, and your phone will pull it up for you.
But you know, as far as like items and monsters and scenarios are concerned, you can find all those on Reddit. You know, go to / you know, what's a good Reddit you guys go on?
Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah,
is a good one.
D&D.
There's
All things D&D.
yeah, DN dad jokes. That's one I go on because I'm hard.
battle maps. If you want to find maps, they got those.
Yeah.
There's a lot of homebrew stuff, and people put all their information up there for free.
Yeah, and you can fall down the rabbit hole in that just like any subreddit, really.
There's infinity sources you could find on various sorts of social media.
Mhm.
You know, I follow a D&D meme page. Yeah, it's all about D&D memes.
Yep.
There's so much stuff you can find, and within each one of those pages, some of them might just be for comedy purposes, but there's also a large, you know, community of players that you can just strike up conversations with and get some information if you're trying to find something new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and besides, you know, books and rules and all that, other stuff that you're gonna need. I mean, you need dice.
You need dice.
You don't have to buy dice. You can get a free dice app on your phone, just like any other phone. You can have any kind of app you want. You know, it makes it a lot funner if you have like grid paper or something like that. We got a 200-yard roll of grid paper, 1-inch grids,
For $25,
something like that. Super cheap and
Really cheap.
you know, it's reusable.
Yeah. Miniatures. Again, you don't have to have them, but it does make it a lot funner.
I mean, most of the monsters we use are just pebbles.
We literally use pebbles for some stuff.
We just got some pea gravel here.
Yep. We just use pebbles a lot of the stuff for our actual characters themselves. We have miniatures, but you know, we use theater of the mind.
It is cool to have your own miniature. You get to paint it up and make it look like how your interpretation of your character is. And it's really fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you don't absolutely need a miniature at all.
Yep.
Yep.
But I think the moral to the story is, if you want to play D&D, it's not as hard as you think to start, and you don't need any of this garbage to start. You could just, if you have a smartphone or a computer or access to one at least, you have the internet, you have all the information you need to start playing D&D.
And a lot more people want to play than you think, so just ask around.
Exactly.
If you and 2 of your friends want to start something new, realistically, I would suggest go in 3 ways on, you know, a player's handbook and a couple things of dice, and they're cheap. You can find them everywhere. And just start to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
learn as you go.
you don't need 5, 6 people. You could have one
3.
person be a dungeon master. You could have one person playing, and you just have a single person adventure, and that's still just as fun as anything else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, play with yourself. Drew does it every day.
Bada bing. Anyways, hope you like the video, guys. like, comment, subscribe, and share. But if you don't want to do any of this, you don't have to listen to us because we are
It's the Indian.
some guy.
And some other guy.
Thanks for watching.
Later, guys.